Welcome to the I Get It Show, a creatively fun discussion focused on the pursuit of meaningful daily life. With a wide variety of topics, insights through celebrations, influencer interviews, and everyday life journey interactions. Inspiring you to pursue passionate happiness and discovering the simple aha moments in life that serve to power the journey of purpose. And now your hosts for the I Get It Show, Jeff Armour and Lindsay Lott.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the I Get It Show. I'm Lindsay, here with Jeff.
What is up, Mama?
How are you?
You know what I'm doing today?
What?
I'm
Please tell me.
living the dream.
Really?
Oh, yeah, every day.
Wow.
Yeah, very exciting.
That good for you?
Yeah. Some people call it a nightmare, but I'm looking at it optimistically.
Hey, there you go. Just shift your perspective. And,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I need to apply that.
I got some advice by, I don't know if you're familiar with Deion Sanders. They call him Coach Prime.
Okay.
And he said, you don't have to have a bad day just because you had a bad moment.
True.
Yeah,
That's
just
actually
have
a
bad
good
moments,
point.
not bad days.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Thank you. I like that. I'm going to apply that.
You're welcome. Thank you, Deion.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
you.
Dion.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's some wisdom.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot,
Yeah.
too.
So what's going on with you?
So many things.
Right. I can't
But
wait.
I'm going to say nothing. It's great.
Yeah, for those of you that have been following the I Get It show, I'm really excited to talk a little bit today about the latest and greatest circumstances involving the beautiful and talented Lindsay, the queen of new media's dating life.
Wait.
We're excited to hear all about that.
Well, but
Yeah.
some of the things we can't talk about on
Is that
air.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like wink, wink.
Yeah.
The thing I said right before we came on air.
Turns out
that's the
we've
thing.
got intel. Can't wait to share it with all of you.
But not that one thing.
Right.
Okay?
We'll call him Steven for this conversation.
All right. Anyways.
Right. Well, that won't be very nice now, will it?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like,
Right.
just let's be nice about it.
Do we need to be nice? Do we have to be nice? Are we supposed to be nice? Like,
think
what
we're
is the deal with
expected
all
to
that?
be nice.
Expected to be nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to unwrap this.
Right? And that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about today.
Right.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah.
Being nice. Can you be nice? You're supposed to be nice.
Are you? What is nice? Right?
Well, that I always look up the definition of like the things we're going to
Gosh.
talk
And
about.
people, by the way, just
Not always.
just for fun,
Thank you.
people just want to be able to show to the
Occasionally.
camera. This is Lindsay's notes
Yeah.
about being nice.
I can't. No. I
Oh
came
boy.
prepared.
Oh man. Lots and lots of notes today. Can't wait to see what you prepared.
Because you want to know why?
I think we all
please?
want. I think America wants to know, and those of you over in Europe as well. Let's tell
So
them.
this is why, because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the definition of nice is pleasant, agreeable, satisfactory in order to be people pleasing. And I
Is
read
that true?
That's what was in the dictionary, and I was
Wow.
like,
Webster,
oh,
you're getting
hell
out of
no.
control.
I'm not gonna be. I don't want to be nice.
Oh,
To be like agreeable all the time.
turns out.
And just
By the way, I
people-pleasing?
can tell you from personal experience that the queen here, the queen of new media, isn't always agreeable.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
Like, honest to goodness, would you?
Yeah. By the way, just to point out the fact, when I said she wasn't agreeable, she agreed with me.
I did,
Yeah.
because that's the
Interesting.
truth.
Yeah.
I agree with the truth.
All right. So whatever you're not agreeable, it's telling me that that you don't think that's the truth.
Well, yeah.
She's calling me a liar. She's calling you a liar.
No, a difference of opinion,
I see.
perhaps.
Misunderstanding.
Right? Different
I see.
realities
I
we
see.
may
Yeah.
be living
right,
in.
Right,
I don't
right,
know.
Right. You know, so they say that nice people finish last.
Right.
Is that true?
What do you think?
I'm curious. Do you have a nice side, by the way?
So here's what I'm a recovering nice person. Like, I'm a recovering people pleaser. I feel like most of my life I've just been the people
A
pleaser
recovering
and
nice
been
person.
agreeable at all costs, to the point where I was a doormat. Right?
Oh.
So that's where I'm like, maybe that nice isn't the best way to be all the time.
You know, interesting thing about doormats is that some people are very meticulous about cleaning the doormat all the time. And then other people, I don't think they ever clean the doormat again. Like, they just use it to stomp
Okay.
on and do whatever it is they do to doormats.
Right?
They don't really care for the doormat. Which doormat would you describe yourself as?
Well,
It would be nice to know.
I'm not really sure how to answer that, I
Oh,
guess.
well, how about with the truth? Let's try that.
Okay, so if I'm like trying to catch up to your train of thought here.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that you were a doormat.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just
but I'm
curious
just
to know
saying
if you
if-
were a clean doormat or
What I'm
or
trying
were
to
you
say is, if
neglected
you always
doormat?
go through life being a people pleaser,
Okay.
which is the definition of being nice,
Right.
right?
Uh-huh.
And being agreeable,
Yeah.
then people can just walk all over you, right? Like
And-
that doesn't really leave a lot of space for you to have your own opinions or to express yourself or like be your own person or disagree with somebody.
If you're
necessarily.
agreeable, you can't really share your opinion. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
Because if you're agreeable, you just, yeah, sure, whatever you want to do. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Right? Instead
Right.
of really being like,
I can't wait to
maybe.
unpack this today. So it's interesting.
So
I like it.
the other definition I looked up is kind. And that is the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. So I would say it's much wiser, much healthier, and better for our mental state and well-being to be kind, which is to be friendly and considerate of others, rather than being nice, which is just agreeable and people-pleasing.
So you're saying nice and kind do not go together.
I'm saying they're different. Yeah.
They're different.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
According to those definitions. But
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of can be dangerous to be nice all the time. And this is the thought. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, please. I'm mesmerized by this.
This is what I thought when I was.
How is she still single, by the way? How is this
Right.
possible, right? Anyway, back to you.
Not always agreeable. That's why.
I think we're starting to unravel some things today. So back to you.
This is so when I think of nice, right? And I've thought about this as I've been raising my children, and I'm like, I don't want my children to just always be agreeable and always be people pleasing. I want them to be nice or kind and respectful and considerate of others. But this is where it came from, and like, bear with me here.
Yeah.
When you have a child, and there's the creepy uncle in the family, right? And
I'll take your word for it.
or whoever.
To all my uncles, none of you were creepy.
Well, to whoever it might be, and you're leaving, and your parents like force you to give them a hug. Go sit on your uncle's lap. Go give your whatever a hug goodbye. Things like that.
Okay.
That always felt icky to me because I'm like,
really?
you know what? If my daughter doesn't like something inside of her doesn't resonate with giving that person a hug, then
Okay.
I'm telling her that you need to put your niceness over listening to your own intuition or being true to like what you're feeling in that moment.
Okay.
So we can be kind and like still have boundaries and maybe shake the person's hand goodbye, but not be forced to go give a big hug to be nice because that's like what's expected of them.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's of all the ways to think about something, that's the one of them for sure. So I like that. By the way, I should have mentioned that for those of you that are listening to the show in March, the first day of spring happened recently. And on the first day of spring, there's a song that actually says, on the first day of spring, the universe gave to me a lot of seasonal allergies. It's a little jingle for you.
Yeah, I like that.
And so you may be picking up a little bit of allergenic reaction to the seasons changing. So anyway, thank you for being nice to me and understanding that, maybe things aren't necessarily as
Kind. I'm being considerate
organized in
today.
the vocal area today. So,
No, you sound good.
oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. All right. So then when it comes to when it comes to niceness, because that's kind of what we're trying to address today, because I think that people will often say, I've just been too nice. Do you think that that's a bad quality?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Being too nice is not a
Yes.
good quality.
No, because I think if we go back to nice, meaning you're agreeable
Yeah.
and you're a people pleaser,
Yeah.
then being nice, you're pretty much putting other people above your own needs or your own well-being, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to be a people pleaser and not like disappoint them or upset them or whatever.
Okay.
So then you stifle yourself or stifle expressing yourself or your own needs or your own desires.
Is that right?
So I think it goes back to like being considerate, being
Yeah.
friendly and kind to people, but maintaining your boundaries and not acting or behaving in a way that everyone else expects of you.
So,
but what feels
so
right
then,
to you.
let me ask you this, and I don't know if you remember this, and I bet you when we get to the BY segment, which BY is coming on in a few seconds
Yes.
here, he'll remember this from an old Adam West show called, and you might have heard of it. I think Brian, Adam West was somebody he went to school with, I think, or something.
Okay.
It's way long ago.
Okay.
It's a show called Batman.
Okay.
And so I think that it was either the Riddler or it was Robin, his sidekick, which I always thought was interesting name
Yes.
for the sidekick. Anyway, that he would say, "Riddle me this, Batman." Right. And so whenever I like think about asking a question, I always think about that. I'm like, riddle me this, Lindsay.
I like
so Batgirl, as
Let's-
it was,
let's
or
bring
whatever.
that
Is it
back.
Batgirl, Batwoman? What is it? Anyway, so Bat
Catwoman.
person,
Catwoman.
Bat person. Oh, cat person is what I'll.
Person.
Oh, can you say cat person? Then it gives a anyway. So when it comes to being nice, because I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Are you saying that you can either be nice or not be nice? Like there's no degree of niceness that's acceptable?
No, I think you're right. I think there's a spectrum for sure.
There's a spectrum.
Right.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
is.
I've always
right?
thought of you, Lindsay, as being on the spectrum. And so what part of the nice spectrum are you on?
Depends on my mood.
Yeah.
Depends on the
right,
day.
right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Usually our girl Lindsay, she will wear a mood necklace,
I have
which
it
gives
on.
me the indicator of where she's at today. Simmer down, everybody. She's just showing us her necklace. So for me, one of the things that I can say after our first meeting together, the first time I met Lindsay, which was almost 2 years ago now, right? So what I thought when she left was, I think Lindsay's a really nice person, but after hearing your description today, I'm concerned that maybe I referred to you incorrectly.
Well,
I actually literally said out loud, I really think she's a nice person,
okay.
and I was way off.
Well, I'm not offended by that. Thank you for sharing.
You're telling me you don't want to be a nice person and you don't want to be referred to as nice. So I apologize for referring to you in that way. That was just not okay.
I'm just saying, if we go by definition, I would rather be a kind person, but maybe we should see what BY's
So
has to
really,
say
is
about
that
it.
true? Okay. Well, that might be a good idea to bring
Yeah.
BY's in and settle this debate to get to the second segment. What is
Maybe
it?
it's just
Nice
semantics
and
that
kind
I
are
just
not the
need to let
same.
go. I don't know.
Degrees. BY's, what do you think?
No. Hey,
No.
kids, you're always wise to come to me, but today I'd appreciate it if you just refer to me as be nice.
Be nice. Okay.
Well,
Done.
you're nice to come to me.
Yeah, you're nice to come to me, so that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
A little late, but you're nice.
No. Okay.
Jeff, I'd like to point out one thing that maybe Lindsay is single by choice.
Oh. Interesting.
Maybe that's the reason.
That's
Okay.
true.
All right.
Just saying.
There is some truth to that.
Well, then,
I agree with that.
yeah. And based on some of the photos she received recently via text, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Be nice.
Right?
Be nice.
Like, I'm not settling for
Yeah.
that.
I'm just saying, men, like,
Yeah.
pick it up here.
Come
come
on.
on.
Pull
Come
it
on.
together.
Yeah, we got to do better.
Anyway,
we
back to
gotta
you.
represent.
Exactly.
As
Yeah.
Batman would say, boom, pow.
Right.
I don't think Robin ever did that. Robin never struck me as the kind of guy.
He was
that
more of a
was,
slapper, wasn't he?
He was a slapper, I think.
I don't know.
He was. I really don't think he. Robin was not the. Robin was more the guy that you're talking about. For Lindsay.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was. Let's call him Robin.
His voice always got high pitched. Hey, Batman!
Yeah.
Oh,
What do
my
we
goodness.
do?
It's,
Oh, no. Right, back to you.
That's the choice, Batman.
Yeah.
Robin.
Right.
So nice guys finished last, Jeff. I think that's good, and I think that's the right path because that's the great question. Do nice guys finish last? And I would say to that, in terms of what Lindsay was talking about, and that's being agreeable, because that's the definition. And studies, they have done studies. You know who they are.
Yeah. They do a
that
lot of
actually
studies.
show-
Me too.
Yeah, they do. They actually have done these studies that show that being agreeable is not a characteristic of being successful. So if you want to be successful, being a disagreeing type person is better for your success rate. So agreeable people just they just are kind of mushy. They don't take a stand on anything. They don't push forward to anything, and so the agreeableness is not good. So I agree with Lindsay on this part.
Not being agreeable is
I'm gonna
good,
agree.
and I agree with that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like jumbo shrimp. It's like an oxymoron.
Right.
Military intelligence,
Military
that kind of thing.
intelligence.
Yeah.
There you go.
So then,
Nice.
but I was asking Lindsay, I don't know if you heard earlier. I was asking Lindsay, is there degrees of niceness that are acceptable? Because some that might be listening today or viewing in our viewing pattern, they might be confused. Like, so then don't be nice at all, or be totally nice. Like, are there degrees? of niceness that you would say is acceptable.
Yeah, of
Would
course.
you agree with that?
Of course there is, but yeah, but there's also fake niceness too,
Mm-hmm.
and people can, I think,
Oh,
discern that pretty quickly as well.
fake
So
niceness.
yeah, like
Is it
me.
is it better to be fake nice than just to be rude and cruel?
No, be kind. You can
Yeah,
still be considerate and respectful, but you
Isn't
don't
that
have to be.
nice?
No.
I agree with Lindsay on this one.
Right. Thank you.
Do you see where this can be very
Yeah,
confusing to people? I don't
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
interesting.
there is degrees of niceness, but I think that that can start to bleed into kindness too, and I think kindness is takes precedent over niceness.
I agree.
Oh,
Ah, the agreement.
right. Yeah,
Love it.
So when it comes to nice typically it sounds like to me from both of you that when you hear the word nice, you're seeing it more from a negative connotation than you are a positive connotation. Like I actually enjoy nice people. So you're saying that I should give up that pursuit?
No, you enjoy kind people.
Yeah.
That's what you enjoy.
I
Oh,
think
I can't
nice
stand
people.
kind people. Kind people are annoying. I'm just
But
kidding. I'm just teasing.
a nice person is agreeable, and I know Jeff really likes a
Well,
yes guy.
that's what I was just going to say. I think nice people have the tendency to be put in a situation where they can easily be manipulated or used, right? Because they're just trying to be a people pleaser, so they just agree and go along with it.
Yeah, but do you
So
really
maybe
think
that
that's
can be used to
true?
your advantage. I don't know, but I'm
Yes,
just saying.
I do think that's true.
Interesting. Huh.
For me, it's been true, and I've been a
Yes.
people pleaser and nice and agreeable. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, this is all. I can't wait to continue this discussion long term. But so for our purposes, and thank you, Be Wise, for that. I can't wait to come back to you and sum this up. But I thought I'd make a few notes, and
Okay.
I'm a big like acronym guy.
Right.
So like it's if you have these, what do we make words out of? So I took the word nice, and I think that this might be where Lindsay's at. Not interested in caring for everyone. Nice. NICE, not interested in caring for everyone.
Okay.
That-
No,
No,
I don't
that's
think
not
that's
you.
true. I can care about everybody, but I still
Okay.
have my boundaries, so I'm not just being a people pleaser to everybody.
Yeah. So perhaps maybe some sort of a redefining of niceness would help you and me to better
I don't
connect.
feel like I need help.
Well, I think
I
this
feel like I'm
this
okay
is
with
certainly
using the
part of the
word
problem. I
kind.
believe. I believe that, and we go back to Be Wise. Maybe he can confirm whether you do or do not need help.
Well, I need help, but not in that, not in this realm. I'm okay
Okay.
with just using the word kind.
I see. So you would replace, I'm not a nice person, I'm a kind person.
I would rather be a kind
I
person.
strive
than
to be
just-
kind.
Yes.
rather than be nice.
Yes, because I think in my head, kindness means I'm considerate and I'm respectful and friendly to other people, but
Okay.
I also have my boundaries, right? So that I don't become a people pleaser and just agreeable and put myself in situations where I can be manipulated or
All right.
used.
So
or-
when you say people pleaser, are you saying that it's always wrong to please people?
it's always wrong to please people at the expense of your own self.
Oh,
And I-
really?
yes.
Interesting. Okay. So you don't believe in self-sacrifice on occasion then?
I think it can be detrimental. I think that's a slippery slope.
Well, slippery
right?
slope,
Like I
for
feel like that
example. I
can
love
be.
it. I always look for ways in which Lindsay and I can debate. And I feel like this is one of those that we could actually debate. We could get all up
Yeah.
in this business
Yeah.
on this.
I feel like you're setting me up here a little bit. Honestly.
No, I'm just because you are trying to say nice and kind, and I think in our society, like we are in this situation where we're trying to decide what each person is that we meet or interact with, and then we make an assumption of them or a characterization of them,
Mm-hmm.
and often people will say they're just not very nice,
Mm-hmm.
and you're saying that it's not that they're not being nice, it's that they're not being kind.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying. And you're saying there's a difference between the two.
I would say yes. I mean, I've also done that. Like that person's nice, this person isn't nice. But I'm just saying, if you go back to the basics of the definition of being nice or being kind versus being kind,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it. But I do think it's pretty interesting that
Those people.
those
yeah,
people were
right.
able to do it to prove
right.
that people that are nice or agreeable aren't always as successful. I think that's really interesting. Like, what do you make of that?
Well, so I believe there are times in life when we have to be willing to allow people to possess the high road. Like I believe that there are times when we just have to choose our battles.
Sure.
Like in life, I don't think that I need to make sure that you always know how wrong you are.
Well, you kind of do.
Right. I don't have to. Right.
Sure.
And that's something that I think we get in the habit of often. We like to tell somebody, like, I want to make sure you fully grasp
Right.
how wrong you are about that. When does it really matter? Wouldn't it be nicer to just say, you know what, that's just their opinion. I can acknowledge that they feel that way. I don't have to accept that, but I can acknowledge that that's the way they feel.
Sure.
And that seems like the nice thing to do. But you're saying that's the kind thing to do. Is that right?
I mean, I don't know how much how much further you want to go with that, but
Well, I wrote down some other
Let's hear it.
acronyms for nice.
Okay. Oh, just now you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow,
So I
look
thought
at you.
I thought
On the
I thought
spot.
to myself, hey, here's a few things that perhaps we can ask Lindsay about. And I thought, nice, never introducing callousness or envy into the conversation. That's nice.
That seems like it would be a nice thing to do.
So would you just say that was people pleasing?
Never is introducing callousness or envy into the conversation.
Yeah. What do you think?
No, I think that's just a
Not
good.
people pleasing. All right. Because
Well, I
I
would
think
say
if you
that's
did
just
that
like-
to me, I'd be like, that's really pleasurable. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for pleasing me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that's just like being a considerate person, which is kind.
Huh. Okay. How about this one?
Oh, boy.
Nice. New interest, concern, or excitement about a
New.
conversation. New interest, concern,
Well, if it's
or excitement.
genuine, like if I'm genuinely interested and concerned
Yeah.
and excited about the conversation, then yeah. But if
Like
I'm just doing it to make you feel good about yourself and stroking your
What's
ego,
wrong with
then
that?
no. Because
What's wrong? Sometimes people just need to be encouraged, Lindsay. Why can't you just be
you're making me
nice?
sound like I'm just like horrible. I'm not saying
I
they
think
don't.
we're unwrapping a lot
Oh
of
my
issues
goodness,
today.
no,
Right?
we're
No,
not.
no. So new interest, new concern, new excitement about something could really motivate someone else and inspire them, right? In the way they're thinking or the way they're growing or the decisions that they made. That's what I came up with an acronym for nice. I came up with the third one. And so this is an interesting thought process on nice. Needing an injection of curious enthusiasm.
Okay.
People need
Well-
an injection of curious or enthusiasm. People want you to show interest in how they feel or think. And they want you to do it in a way that's not like what you guys were saying, which was a fake kind of a thing, but fake nice, right? But it's someone that is really interested and enthusiastic about your thought process or who you are or what you're doing. That seems a very nice thing to do.
Right. Agree. But I wouldn't want that to be fake
Agreed.
or forced.
Right.
Like I don't
right.
want that.
Oh,
from
I would agree with that. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. But you're saying that actually describes kind.
I would say, yeah, being kind and it would be considerate
Yeah.
and listening and know they're excited. So you
So
respect
I feel
that,
like
but it
these
doesn't
two
necessarily
things
mean,
like swim in the same stream. They pass each other and they cross over. Is that true?
I disagree. I do.
Yeah, that's okay.
And maybe it's just from my past experiences.
whispering?
Well, I don't know.
Why is she
I disagree.
whispering?
I'm used to being agreeable, and this is awkward to disagree with you.
Right. Yeah, and I've told you this so many times. I love when we disagree.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know, but
let's
I think
disagree
maybe
more.
I think my like I told you, I'm a recovering people pleaser.
Yeah.
And so I think I have
You
like
mentioned doormat
I mean,
earlier.
yeah, but I think I have like, a little, I don't know the right word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little bit turned off by the idea of just being nice all the time. I can accept being kind. I want to be kind and I strive to be kind.
I see.
But being nice in my mind leads to being agreeable, being a people
Right.
pleaser, and just being the nice girl and sitting, doing what's expected of me rather than like what feels true and authentic to me.
I see.
That's why I'm like so turned off by just being nice.
Yeah.
But strive to be kind.
So if you're kind, you're less apt to be taken advantage of than if you're nice.
I will just say for my personal, for where I'm at personally, that word is, that makes me feel like more authentic,
Yeah.
but also like more protected, meaning I'm like boundaried from allowing myself to
and
be
so
manipulated or
I
used
do
by
think
others.
that I think guys out there, pay close attention to what Lindsay's saying, because it's kind of like her love language. If you're kind to Lindsay, right, she's more apt to be accepting of you and what you're saying.
Right. True. This is true.
Right. So perhaps more kindness. Stop being nice. because nice is not working for you. It's not attractive to
It's
her.
not-
But kindness, on the other hand, then you're onto something.
That's us.
Is that what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe Be Wise can explain this further
Yeah.
about what we've gotten ourselves
see what he
into,
has to
because we've
say.
really unraveled a few things, and maybe he can knit it back together. What do you think, Be Wise?
Yeah, knitting, not my strong.
Oh, froze.
Yeah, it always works this way. By the way, that for whatever reason, Be Wise, when we bring him on, and then he freezes
Yeah,
himself
he does.
in order to make a whole thing go on. And so when we get him back,
attention
we'll be
seeking.
right.
Let's get a better picture of him all.
Right.
There we go. Nice blown
there
up.
it is.
Nice
Hey,
and frozen.
fella, nicely done. So the challenge for us is that when you have to differentiate the two, how do we go about doing that? How do you determine whether a person's they're just being nice and that's actually very kind? Like, is there a feeling? Like, what is it that happens for
I
you?
would say like the more in tune you are with yourself and like the more aware you are of trying to be kind rather than just being nice to people, the more able you will probably be able to pick that up from other people and sense whether or not they're being authentic or just trying to be a people pleaser. Don't you think?
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know that. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I mean, we're all kind of
yeah,
working
you
out our
do.
journey all together.
I feel like you do.
Excellent points. Right. Well, I was just
If
trying
you
to
don't, then
show
we're all
a moment
screwed.
of humility
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
Lindsay.
No.
But actually, you're wise to come to me.
I know.
Right. So,
I know.
so the journey then for us is to determine what our response to somebody. How do we determine that response? Like, if I was just saying, well, I was just being nice. Are you saying that gives way to a lack of authenticity? Whereas if I was being
Yeah.
kind, it's a heartfelt thing that I'm saying, I'm
Right.
doing this regardless of what you're doing to me in return.
I think so. Yeah, because being nice does feel fake if you know that they're just trying to be agreeable,
Yeah.
and be a people pleaser.
Yeah. How do you determine someone's being fake when fake nice? Like, is there a tone?
Can
Is
you
there like
sense
a?
it? I
is
feel like
there
you
a
can
thing?
sense it.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I-
I know you're thinking of someone right now. They're like, yeah.
Right. Get out of my head, Lindsay, and get into my car. All right. So, a little humor from a music. Do you know who sings that, by the way?
No.
Billy Ocean.
Oh,
Get out of my dreams and get into my car.
should've
Billy
known.
Ocean. Yeah. What is the color of love? Anyway, so when you are kind of on your journey or path of interacting with people, you are setting out to say, I can be kind to this person, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be nice.
Right. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm
Do
going to
we-
be fake.
And
just to
if Be Wise
make
came
them feel
back,
better about
I'd love for him
themselves.
to log back in. Hey, whenever you're ready
Welcome
to,
back.
yeah, thanks for. He's in an undisclosed location.
Yes.
You know, there was a
Yeah.
movie one time where the world was coming to an end, and I think it was Randy Quaid, and he was driving an RV out in the middle of a mountain. He had these big satellite dishes, and that's what I imagine you're like. You're like in a mountain somewhere with these satellite dishes, and you got your shortwave radio. Come in,
Yeah.
world.
Pretty much.
I'm very near Area 51, so that possibly could have had something to do
Now
with
it's
my
more disclosed.
disappearance.
It's more of a disclosed location.
Yeah, yeah. So what I was going to say is that I find it, interesting that people say nice in a bunch of different ways. So somebody could say nice,
Yeah.
or they could say noise,
Yes.
right? Nice,
Right.
Yeah.
right. But my favorite is how they use it to tie down something that they're barely listening to. So you could tell a story, and then somebody would say nice.
Right.
So it just shows you that they're barely listening.
Yeah,
To the-
that's
to
true. I mean, there are times when people say nice and they actually mean it like it's not nice at all. Like they're really upset. Like nice,
That's right.
Yeah.
real good. Yeah,
Nice. Way to go.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So, are you able to make heads or tails of our the Queen of New Media's over here version of trying to differentiate nice from kind?
I do, and I love it because I think
boy.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
I think kindness. Well, let's phrase it in this way. Let's look at nice from a different perspective. We're dealing with somebody maybe in a store or something, and somebody's just not being nice, and you say to yourself, "Man, this person's just a jerk." And so, do you say that person's just a jerk and kind of deal with it in kind, Or do you give them some grace and say, well, maybe they're just having a bad day. Something bad's happened to them in their life, and they're just having a bad day, and so they're just not being nice because of that.
I feel like
So-
Lindsay. I feel like Lindsay would. I feel like she would say, like, "You're a jerk." and
Depends
move
on my
Is that-
mood.
what do you think? What do you think? Do you
Right.
guys think Lindsay would do that?
Yeah, and I
Depends.
think
Yeah,
I think,
he
your,
says, yeah.
I think your mood determines that.
Yeah.
For
It
sure.
totally
Yeah.
does.
For sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think
Can-
your mood really is part
Can
of
you
that.
tell somebody they're rude by being kind?
Wait, what?
It depends on your relationship with that person. I don't think you can do that to a stranger, but you
No?
can certainly do it to a family member.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Good. That's good to know.
Mhm.
So, how do you feel about that?
I think that's true. I think you can let somebody know that what they did was not kind, but do it in like a respectful, considerate manner.
Interesting. Okay.
I think there's
Yeah.
so many like ways we could go and like talk about this because
I do
there's
too.
like I wanted to talk more about like what Brian B. Wise had said about the success.
Be nice
like,
today.
Be nice. Thank you. That agreeable
See,
people
it's
aren't
on
as
the title.
successful.
It's on the title. It says
Thank
be
you.
Yeah,
nice.
be
It
nice.
says
There
be
you go.
nice.
Be
There
nice
you go.
today.
Sorry. But I think that's super interesting, and I wanted to talk about more about that. But then also like consider the societal expectations on different genders, right? Like, do you not think that
getting
there's
provocative.
more of an expectation for women to be nice and it's more acceptable for men to sometimes not be quite as nice? I
It's the ladylike thing to do.
see, right?
What about the phrase naughty or nice? Why does
Oh.
naughty have to be not nice?
Interesting.
Naughty can be very nice.
And I
mean,
think,
I
by the
prefer
way,
naughty.
I would like to put in while we got the whole production staff here. I'd actually like to have an episode on naughty. If you don't
Okay.
mind. Let's have a quick meeting about that.
Naughty's. I
Everybody
like
in?
it.
All right, great.
Yes.
We have to
done.
check with our FCC coordinator.
He's
and
in.
engineer,
He's like taking
Sean.
notes over
Yeah,
there.
the squeaky wheel gets the oil, Jeffrey. So that's the not
excellent
agreeing
news.
part.
Yeah,
Squeaky
that's
wheel
REY,
gets
by the
oil.
way. REY.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, when it comes to determining how we're interacting with each other and how we interact with strangers, a lot of people will say, "Just be nice." In fact, there are T-shirts that say this, right? Say "Be nice," right? But you were saying wear the T-shirt that says "Be kind."
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what are the best ways in order to be kind to somebody, or be nice, as I guess what we're doing today? What is the best way to be kind to someone, especially when they're not really giving you a lot of reasons to be kind?
Well, I think extending grace to people is an important way to interact. Having the ability to see yourself as a very kind person.
Yeah.
I think that's important. If you don't see yourself as a kind person, I think being kind is difficult. But if you
So
see
kind of
yourself
starts
as a kind
within you
person-
first, is what you're saying.
I think so.
So I would like to recommend something right now, and I know we didn't talk about this before, but just to throw it out there, because I'd like to move the be nice to actually be kind.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Be wise, be nice.
Nice.
Right. So be kind is where we're at today. Thank
But
you,
I
be kind.
think before you can be kind to other people, you have to first be kind to yourself. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
it has to start within.
Yeah.
But that means like being
Right.
kind to yourself, giving yourself grace,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding that everyone's like on their own journey, dealing with their own things that we can't always see. But like giving them grace and like having compassion for where they're at allows you to be kind.
I think that was what I was thinking before we started the show today, was how do we wrap up and kind of tie this all up? And I think that where it comes to, because I'm actually leaning towards being more agreeable with you and bringing you some pleasure in that way of agreeing
you.
with you by saying I think that kindness is where it starts. I think that people confuse niceness with kindness a lot. And I think kindness has to begin within us, that we have an inner turmoil that makes it difficult for us to be kind to others. I think it's something that really generates in us because we often find our identity in other people's reactions rather than the identity that we should have in our purpose of who we are. So I would recommend that as we move forward and as you're looking at, where you want to be in life, to understand that your kindness towards what's happening to you, what's happening around you, really says more about you and your maturity than it does about the other person. So I think interacting with kindness is probably the way to go. So changing, nice people may finish last, but kind people will always win in the end.
I agree. And just to reiterate,
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Very kind.
But just to reiterate, I think it does have to start, like being kind and being a kind person has to start within yourself, and you have to cultivate that kindness for yourself first before you can give that to others. And that's not selfish. That's just that's the only way that we can grow and become better, and as a result, allow others and around us to grow and become better. And
if you fill your tank of kindness, if you fill that up, you have plenty to spread around.
Right.
The kindness fairies, as it were.
Kindness fairies.
This is
I
awesome.
like
I can't
that.
wait to continue
I
this.
feel like there's so much more to talk about on this topic.
Sure.
So I hope everyone listening reaches out to us on all of our social medias, and we can continue the conversation. Find us at the I Get It Show. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Sean.
Be
Thank you.
be
nice.
kind.
Be kind. I'm not really
And
sure.
Sean. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time. We're going to talk about comparisons.
Oh, yeah.
You've been listening to The I Get It Show. Witty and insightful conversations about nothing, discussing how our daily lives are influenced by everything. Feel free to reach out. The I Get It Show at gmail.com. Like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube, and follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, this has been The I Get It Show. This has been a production from a podcast studio.